Batman the Ride is a commonly cloned B&M inverted coaster at many other parks, mainly Six Flags parks in North America, but there are a few in Asia and around the world. Uh, the one I'm specifically reviewing is at my home park, Six Flags St. Louis, which is a little different than the common one. It's a mirrored version. So instead of turning to the left at the start, it turns to the right, as you can see here. So ours opened in 1995. It was built by B&M. Has the same track length of 2,693, so pretty short, but it's a very intense ride, so it doesn't really feel that short when you actually ride it. 105 feet, so it's really not about the height, and it's only 50 miles an hour. It's really just about the intensity. And even though it is only 50 miles an hour, it does not feel that slow. It feels much faster because of how many G-forces you pull on the ride, and and you pull 4 Gs on this ride, which is on the helix after the second vertical loop, and it feels like your feet are being ripped off basically. And so this ride has 5 inversions, 2 vertical loops, a 0 G roll, and then 2 corkscrews, which are all very intense. The most intense of those, I would say, is the corkscrews. They don't pull as many Gs as like the helix, but they just feel a lot more intense. So here's the layout here provided by the park. And so you get a pretty solid view of the front entrance here. And so you dive to the right. Don't really get any airtime, but still a forceful drop into the first vertical loop, which is pretty forceful. Good G's, no hang time or anything. 0 G roll. Not really like any airtime. It's just a weird inversion. It's the only 0 G roll I've experienced. Helix feels like your feet are gonna be ripped off. And then we have a little breather here, right into the first corkscrew, which is super whippy. Definitely my favorite elements on the ride are the corkscrews and my favorite inversions, I would say. And then you finish up. So it's a pretty short ride, but very compact and very intense. So to finish up here, yeah, Batman is a very smooth ride. It's a very intense ride. Not my favorite ride at Six Flags St. Louis. I definitely like Boss and American Thunder more, and I probably would like Mr. Freeze more. But still is a very solid ride, and yes, it is cloned a lot, but it's probably the best clone, at least that Six Flags has ever done, that they've cloned this much. It's much better than like, a free spin or a Pandemonium clone. But yeah, so it's a very intense ride, very smooth, and I just really like Batman clones, and I'm sure most coaster enthusiasts have ridden at least one, but if you haven't, definitely don't just write it off as a bad ride just because it's a clone. And yeah, thank you for watching.